Hello, and thank you for tuning in to another watch review. I'm Lazy Mateo. Want to show you a new watch that I have received. Fairly inexpensive pilot style watch. And I thought I'd share it. I have had this less than a day, but I thought I'd tell you what I thought about it first because I don't think I'm going to have much of a different view of it than I do already, because I don't think this is something that's going to, I guess, give me more surprises than I'm expecting from it. But I thought I'd share, maybe a little prematurely, but nonetheless, I just thought I'd share this with you of a new watch from Naviforce. Pretty impressed with this little piece I got. I'm a bit of a novice regarding the pilot watches as of late, and hopefully that'll change. I'm way more versed in divers watches. So, in fact, before I go further, just to show what I have on currently right now, I have on a Parnas GMT2 Master, GMT Master 2 homage. Not a bad watch. It's very, very well made. I've kind of been hanging around more the budget, affordable homage watches, and I know that's usually a big turn off for many watch enthusiasts. But I found there are a lot of good ones out there now. There are ones that you kind of may get lucky and get a good one if they're not known for good watches, but I like taking chances, and I like getting things on a budget, and I like letting people know how they fare with me. So at any rate, that's what I have, and I'll do a review on this specific watch sometime soon. However, this is our star of the show today. So, Naviforce. At first glance, it is very impressive. In fact, Naviforce, this specific brand, is very, very new. It's only been around since about, I want to say 2012, at least the research that I've done. And it looks very similar to a number of other watches out there. Obviously, the design, this is a Type A design. So it's very well constructed for the price. I got this, I want to say, for about $15. Incredibly inexpensive, off of Wish.com. I know you've heard of Wish. Yes, you can get things off of there that it's kind of a grab bag. But I've gotten a number of really good things from them as well. And even if I can't afford something that is going to be very nice quality, I like getting something that at least, it'll hold me off until I can get the more affordable, pricey, so that I can, I can at least feel like I have it until I actually get it. And I don't think I'm alone in feeling that way. So anyway, starting off here, this is quite an impressive construction and impressively made. I have pretty small wrists. I haven't really measured my wrists lately, but they're not that big. From lug to lug, it's 50 millimeters. In fact, I'll even show you here. And but it's very flush on the wrist, so it wears very, very well. So it's at 50 millimeters. So this will suffice as being similar to, like, say, your IWC big pilot watches. I believe it's, let's see here, I want to say it's about 10 and a half, 11 width. Yep, there we go. It's about 10 and a half, closer to 11 though. In case you need to know what it is with the crown, if that's a big deal to you, then with the crown, the width is, we're looking at, let's see here. Why can't I read that? Anyway, so, that's kind of unusual. I'm not quite sure. Let's see. Oh, yeah, there we go. My apologies. So we're looking at, what, about 48 millimeters. So the actual crown itself, or I'm sorry, case itself, is going to be just under 44. So it's got quite a presence, and it'll have quite a presence on your wrist. Like I say, I have small wrists, and I'll show you in a moment what it looks like. And it looks very good. So, without babbling too much, obviously it's your Type A. What I really appreciate about it is how you don't just have the 5, 10, 15, 20 indices like you do on most Pilot watches. But you also have in red, your 1 through 12, and then beneath that, your 12 to 24. And I like how they do the color scheme. They do the alternating color scheme. This kind of a greenish gray, and then red, and then back to the greenish gray. I think that's really easy on the eyes, and for even as low budget a watch as this is, it makes it look like it's, well, definitely more expensive than it is. The movement is pretty spot on. Yes, it is quartz movement. However, it is hackable. That's a big deal. And this big crown also lends to the other Pilot watches that have the bigger crowns. No, it's not maybe the oversized onion, but this is still one that you can change the time. If you have to advance the date, you can do that while it's on your wrist. So it's a big enough crown where you can do that, because you can't do that even with dive watches, even with the screw down crowns. You have to take them off to do that. At least I do, because the whole purpose is they sit flush enough against your wrist. These Pilot watches, though, the reason why they were originally designed this way, especially for those that flew biplanes and such, and you wore big gloves, you had to be able to do so. Any changing you needed to do with your time or whatever, you needed to do it pretty quickly without having to remove any gloves or your watch from your wrist. So, going forward, I do love how they handsomely have their logo on the crown there, as well as they have it on the buckle. And the buckle is stainless steel along with the back. Okay, so it does specifically stay stainless steel there and there. I'm not quite sure about the rest of the case. I'm not sure if this is possibly zinc and they're trying to make it look like a brushed stainless steel. This is not how normal brushed stainless steel looks. So I'm kind of suspect of whether this is stainless steel. But then again, for the price, hey, I'm very impressed with what you do get at all. So even if it is zinc, that's fine. Handsomely printed back here. Naviforce. Their logo is for, what does it say there? For Dream. Not quite sure what that, if there's something lost in translation in English, maybe it means something a little bit more specific in Chinese, since it is made in China. This does show the model number down here as well. If you'll see, it is NF9044M. So that is this specific model. And I'll put links and everything at the bottom in the information here in this video, so you could check this out as well, and where you can get these watches. Oh yeah, let me get back to here. I'm a little circumspect of one thing. It does say professional. Not sure why. It says professional waterproof. All right, this is 30 millimeters, or 30 meters. It says it two different places. Right there, let's see if I can get it. Yeah, right there on the, obviously on the screw down case back. And then it says it again right here on the front of the dial. Let's see if I can get it here. There we go. All right, so I urge you, do not go diving with this. It's obviously not a diving watch, but I'm not even sure if it would be safe to do swimming in. You might be able to shower with it. I certainly wouldn't submerge this. There are watches that I have, such as my Parnas that I showed you, that is 30 millimeters, but it has a screw down crown with the gasket in there. It has the screw down back as well, and I've showered with it and it's done fine. This I'm not quite sure, because it's a little less construction, made not of necessarily as high grade materials as, like, say, my Parnas I showed you. So I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm willing to risk this or not. I might, who knows. But specifically, if you have something with a leather watch, you really wouldn't want to shower with it anyway. So at any rate, let's go on to the strap here. It says Naviforce here. Again, very handsomely, well made, handsomely stitched. This is not leather, so I do need to stress that. This is not a leather strap. You're not going to get a leather strap on a watch that's $15. You can get a leather strap that's $15, but you're not going to get it on a watch that's $15. So If you smell it, it does have just a slight little chemical smell because of whatever kind of pleather stuff it is. For the time I have worn it on my wrist, whenever I'd take it off and I'd smell my wrist to see if it would stink, just to see if it's something where, if I was wearing it on a hot day outside, am I gonna, is it gonna start creating a really unpleasant odor for me or those around me? And so far that hasn't been the case. So I've been very pleased with that. So whatever materials they're making this out of, this is a pretty nicely made strap that goes very well along with this. There's other offerings as far as designs. You could have a lighter dial with a lighter strap. There's even an option where you can have this is obviously the dark dial with the dark strap with, this is obviously the steel case, or at least obviously the silver case. They have one where there's a black case, so you can have a black dial case as well as the strap all together, and still have the same scheme on all the watches. It's going to have the same color scheme regardless of what your dial is going to have. I will say this, I'm a little downtrodden about something. The only thing that's loom on this are the hands. Okay, these do not, what you'd think would be, because it kind of looks like it would go along with what's on the hands. I was really hoping it was going to be something that would also have the triangle, because the whole purpose of having that for these types of watches was so that when it was dark, and even on watches where only the indices showed, and you didn't even have the numbers that showed, you'd have just the main indices for 5, 10, 15, 20, and then the triangle, so that you could have a reference when you're looking at your watch. If you were to hold it up and if you just had just the indices, it would be really hard to tell the time in the dark. So that's why I'd have the triangle, to give the reference of that 12 o'clock. But at any rate, no, these indices, nothing but the hands has any kind of a loom. It has okay loom. It's not bad. It's not great. Again, this is a $15 watch. This is mainly for looks. This is mainly to have something on your wrist that keeps good time, and if nothing else, to help you get ready for something nicer you want to get, so you can actually get used to having something like this on your wrist. Okay, so tell you what I'll do. Let me take my GMT Master 2 off, and I will I'll clean up my crystal here a little bit. And also, I would love to hear what other information you may know about these watches, Naviforce. Please feel free to comment. I would love to see if anyone else maybe knows more than what I know. Obviously, feel free to subscribe if you want to see more watch reviews. But at any rate, so here's what it looks like on my wrist. It's pretty flush. It's very nice. Like I say, I don't have very big wrists. It rests very, very well. It just is a good looking watch. This really looks like it should be about, I'd say this looks like it could be anywhere from about at the most, I'd say it could be a $300 watch. And it just looks really, really, really well put together. Couple more things here. It does not have a quick date set. So it only has one position. When you pull this out, yes, it is hackable. That is a great thing about it. However, when you advance the hour and minute hand, you advance it forward, it will advance the date. You cannot advance the date by itself. It's not something to where you could pull the crown out and maybe do it backwards, or a second position where you could advance the date. You can't. In fact, what I tried to do is I tried to go backwards and do the time back, and it won't even do the hour, or I'm sorry, the days backwards. I literally had to advance the entire hour and minute hand, full 24 hours every single time, to advance every single day. Kind of laborious. So obviously not something that would have been ideal for a pilot back in the day if you needed to change the date. However, again, this is a $15 watch. I just want to stress that, because what you're getting a whole lot for that amount of money. So, just to recap here, Naviforce, 30 millimeter water resistance, quartz movement, hackable, nice artificial leather strap, stainless steel, buckle and case back, quite possibly case. If not, it's quite possibly zinc. Very well constructed with the big crown. So far it keeps great time. I haven't really had enough time to test it specifically to let you know if it's, you know, plus or minus anything yet, but I set it to the atomic clock, and my harness keeps amazing time. It's pretty much, I'd say it's probably a little fast, obviously, because you can see my harness there. My harness is dead on with the atomic clock, so at this point we're talking maybe around 4 or 5 seconds faster. So that's livable. I can definitely live with that. If I have to, I can adjust in the back. For those of you that know how to adjust the movement speed, fast or slow. This does have a 1-year warranty. You get a warranty card actually, but for $15, I'll actually take my chances. I may just adjust it myself. I'm not going to need a warranty for this. So for this type of money, it's a beater is what it is. However, a very nicely made beater watch. So I appreciate your time. Thanks for tuning in for another watch review here for the Naviforce. I'm not sure what else to call it other than the model number that was on there, and I'll post that on there. But thanks again. State your comments down in the comment area. Tell me what you think. Let me know something maybe I hadn't talked about. Subscribe if you want to see more videos. Oh yeah, let me just try one more time here let me see if I can show you the lume, tell you what I think about it. I'm just going to charge it for about 10 seconds or so here on my lamp, and just to give you an idea what it looks like. All right. Not bad. Not bad. I do have light on behind me, but as you can see, it's definitely luming, and it's just the hands. In fact, let me even cover it up a little bit more here. So it's just the hands, none of the indices or anything. It's going to stay on for maybe about 10 or 15 minutes before it starts waning. So like I said, it's not perfect. It's not something that you would expect, obviously, on a high-end pilot watch. But again, it's $15. All right. Thanks so much for your time and tuning in for this. And until next time.